60 Minutes with Angela starts right now.
Now, listen to this.
The strength of Lagos lies in its population, and that population gives it a dominance that cannot be ignored in not just sub-Saharan Africa, but the whole of Africa.
Well, hello and welcome. This is 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ajitumobi. Thank you for joining me on the program today. Now, what do we know about Lagos State? Apart from being in the southwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria, it was once the capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and remains the commercial capital of the country. In terms of tourist attractions, Lagos State boasts of Lagos Bar Beach, Badagry Beach, Ibeshe Beach, Whispering Palms, that's in Badagry as well. Of course, the first story building in Badagry, Lekki Peninsula, Takpo Bay, Muritala Mohammed Botanical Gardens, the National Museum in Onikon, the relics of slavery in Badagry as well, Tafawa Balewa Square, and the National Theatre. Now, my host today, everyone says, is a round peg in a round hole, entrusted with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Don't forget, Lagos State's current governor, Akinwumi Ambode, has said that tourism is one of the areas that he will be looking at to develop the economy in Lagos. What then is his vision for that ministry? Join me after the break as I count down 60 minutes with Folarin, current Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture in Lagos State. Welcome back. Welcome, Mr. Coker. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Delighted to be here, Angie.
Now, I thought we should start from this angle. As you move forward in the tourism ministry, a lot of Lagosians expressing shock at the change, for instance, in the calendar of tourism in Lagos State. It would seem that the message of continuity isn't true, as this new administration seems to move away from some of the items on the previous calendar of Governor Fashola.
I think you are referring specifically to the crossover ceremony we used to hold called Countdown. On Thursday, I launched One Lagos Fiesta, which is not a replacement of Countdown. It's just that we are launching new brand at crossover.
Right.
Countdown is our crossover ceremony, which we will use from 2016 to 2017. One Lagos Fiesta is something that is going to run all year.
Right.
It will support local governments to have their local government days to showcase the culture and the art of specific localities. It will celebrate Independence Day so that immediately after the march past, we have something to go to,
Yes,
to celebrate a day. It is also a brand that celebrates the new vision of this government, which is beyond continuation,
Yes.
is the inclusiveness that we call One Lagos. So I think maybe you may also be referring to the issue about the Christmas lights.
yes,
What has just happened is that the governor has just invited people who do business with the state to come in and, as part of their corporate social responsibility,
yes.
light up the street rather than had the taxpayers
Money for
from
that,
IGR
yes.
for it. So you will see that coming up.
So in other words, a lot of the items on the calendar are still maintained. They just tweaked a little bit.
Let me explain what One Lagos Fiesta is.
Yes.
And the
The
philosophy
vision
of inclusion.
Yes.
Countdown used to be at Babbage, just Babbage.
Yes. One location.
One location. Now it has been decentralized to Badagry, Ikorodu, Epe, Agege representing Ikeja, and Bar Beach. For the last 5 days of the year, instead of 30 days of the year,
Yes.
5 locations simultaneously, that's the equivalent of 25 concerts.
And they all held on the same days?
27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. In those 5 locations, we have programs where we have asked the people in the
Neighborhood
localities
Yes.
to bring up their culture. If it's Yoruba dancing, if it's Hausa dancing, if it's Igbo dancing, bring it all up onto this platform that we have provided.
Yes.
And celebrate the children's activities,
Yes.
all sorts of wonderful things, food stalls, beer parlors, all in 5 different localities celebrating the winding down of one year and welcoming the other.
And I know that one of the problems that the countdown always had was the fact that because it was all directed into one location, it was always very heavy. All traffic and everyone facing one side. And areas like Ikorodu, we always felt left out because you would go to the island, you go to Bar Beach, and then you have to make the journey all the way back home. So I suppose now the people of Ikorodu will feel like they're really a part of Lagos.
It's a government of inclusion. You will remain in Ikorodu and we will showcase your local artists, your local cuisine, your local theatre.
Yes.
We will now bring the AFC B and A rated artists
Yes.
to run through.
Okay, so there's
the
no
localities.
discrimination. We will get the top people as well.
It is One Lagos. That is what we are also celebrating, inclusion. Nobody's left out.
So what are the benefits of tourism? One of the things that comes to mind, of course, is creating employment, but it will seem that a lot of the states look towards volunteers more, relying more on volunteerism rather than paid employment. What is your strategy going forward?
First of all, the strength of Lagos lies in its population, and that population gives it a dominance that cannot be ignored in not just sub-Saharan Africa, but the whole of Africa.
Right.
Tourism is the largest employer of labor and strategically employs women and youth. And that is, again, something that we could benefit from. Now, when people talk about Lagos, they don't necessarily see tourism. But let's define tourism.
Why do you say they don't necessarily see tourism?
Tourism is usually defined as leisure. I went on holiday,
Yes.
I stayed in a lovely hotel,
Yes.
I lay down on the beach, had wonderful food. Great. There's a bit of that in Lagos. But the economic tourism that Lagos enjoys, everybody comes to Lagos to buy. People come from South Africa to buy. People come from Angola, from Ghana,
Yes.
from Kenya.
Yes.
Everybody comes to Lagos to buy. So Lagos is like a Dubai in Africa. The economic power, the buying power of Lagos makes it cheaper and easier for people who are not buying in such volumes to come to Lagos to pick them up.
Yes.
So there's economic tourism on a large scale. If you look at religious tourism, Lagos is also the mecca of religion.
Yeah.
I will give you the example of the experience a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Some of the churches that people come from all over the world to that are situated in Lagos. Look at the Redeemed Church of Christ. They have 187 branches. Each one in 187 countries. And the Mecca, the focal point of that religion,
Yes.
of that particular brand of Christianity, is here.
Lagos, here.
That
And
is
that's why
religious
every year
tourism.
they're all heading here.
I don't define Lagos in the context of Nigeria. I define Lagos in the context of sub-Saharan Africa. We are the taste bud of sub-Saharan Africa. If you want to eat, where else could you find the variety? We are the fashion capital of sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, we are the Louboutin capital
Yes.
of probably Africa. So the dominance of Lagos, sometimes we forget what we have. Now, we have done quite a bit of research into what currently exists in Lagos. How many hotels, how many hotel rooms, we're waiting for those figures. From that, we are going to grade different hotels. Then, from the research and development that we are doing, we're now going to planning. How do we best support these hotels to give better value for money? There are certain bottom lines that affect the performance of a hotel. Water, power,
Electricity.
they are such crucial ingredients. And if each one is providing theirs. I mean, internally, there's the issue of quality and then the value of money. Value for money comes back to feed into it. That okay, if the guy is generating his electricity,
He's got to make a profit.
he's got to make a profit. And so what is the quality of the service is going to? So there's some of those things that are feeding in that we have to sort out. Lagos needs certain things. We have the potential, but we could do better. We need a museum of contemporary art. Lagos is home to the third largest film industry in the world.
Yes.
We don't have a film school. We need a film school.
Film village.
We need a media hub where all these things can exist with excellent internet facilities.
Yes.
If you build a hotel tomorrow morning, 1,000 rooms, where does the feedstock in terms of human resources that you're going to employ, where does it come from? We need schools of hospitality where people are trained to cook, to provide service, and that is where the true feedstock starts to mature in experience and starts to support hotels. I mean, some of the countries that we go to on holiday, South Africa, Kenya, what do we go there to do? South Africa, without disrespect to the nation, has crime like we do, but we still go there. London has congestion. I mean, if you are driving into London, you pay a congestion charge to get into central London. So there's congestion in London.
Yes.
There's crime in London.
But we still go.
We still go. What are we suffering from here? It's not that we don't have the attractions to make people come. We have perception that has been altered that needs to be corrected.
Re-altered, yes.
Talk about Lagos, it's always negative, negative, negative. Okay, so we are also seeking to gain traction in the commentary to hopefully drown out some of the negativity. With some
yes, but you would agree
issues.
with me, though, that as a well-traveled man, you can't compare the aesthetics that you see in places like Dubai or Abu Dhabi with what we see here in terms of infrastructure.
Angela, one day, Dubai will not be a reference point for Lagos. Lagos will be a reference point for Dubai. Because Dubai looks like this, or London looks like this, or South Africa looks like this, doesn't make that the path that we must follow. Neither should it be our reference point. There are 22 million people in Lagos. Lagos is about 34,000 square meters. If you divide it, which is 4 of these boxes, we should be about 12 standing on that box. Thank God we move around. Now, Dubai doesn't have that population density. So what is the basis that you use to compare? What we need to do is look inward and appreciate the beauty that exists here. If we look at our waterways, 22% of Lagos is water. 180 kilometers of coastline. Yes, there is a need for investment in some of these resources, but as they are beautiful. Okay, what do we do to enhance them? Most of these iconic structures that you talk about overseas are lit. Where do we light some of these things from when we have a power issue? But we are getting there. Our roads are lit, our bridges are lit. If you remember images of London Bridge,
yes.
You see they light it above and then it's lit underneath. So we're going back to some of those projects. Things like Tafawa Balewa Square, they need to be lit at night. The National Theatre, it needs to be lit at night.
Yes.
Just lighting up the structures that we have creates that iconic look.
Yes. So what about citizen education? If we're talking about creating employment, the citizens or the residents of Lagos also have to be prepared to receive visitors from all over the world. What are you going to do about that education?
Angela, the first thing is to educate the people about Lagos or what is even available in Lagos. Then get them to go and look at those things and enjoy those things in Lagos.
First.
Then we will find that people in Nigeria will now start coming to Lagos to enjoy the things that people in Lagos are enjoying. Hopefully, then we'll get the rest of sub-Saharan Africa who haven't come to Lagos already, come to Lagos to enjoy what Lagosians are enjoying.
Yes.
Hopefully the rest of the world. The world has shrunk with the smartphone and technology.
Yes.
One of the things we hope to develop soon is an app that simply what you can do going out of Nigeria, you can do coming into Nigeria. From here, you can go to some of these websites on your phone, book a taxi, airline tickets, hotel, airport concierge, all those things, but they're all going out. Now, we'll be talking to the airline operators, the hotel operators to come together to prepare packages that are easily digestible.
Yes.
for inward-bound tourism rather than out. I would like to say there's a package from Abuja to Lagos that brings you taxi to the airport, airline ticket, pick up at the airport to the hotel paid for, a day's shopping at one of our malls, a day's shopping at one of our markets, a night in a nice restaurant, probably a visit to a nightclub, all inclusive, packaged.
One price.
One price. We need to develop and package inward-bound tourism that is easy for the people to do. As we digest going to Mecca, to Jerusalem, ready package, we need to package it back in this way. And that reduces the fare because, you know, it's all done.
Yes, it's
I don't get to the airport and I'm looking for a taxi. Now that can be scary.
Yes.
So develop an app that allows you to tell people what is available, where it's available, from wherever in the world they are.
Yes.
You come out of the airport, and with something like, not branding anybody or advertising, but something like Uber, you know, you see the cab driver, you see his telephone number, you see the type of the car, you see a photograph of the driver. There's something comforting about it, and that's just technology. Nothing has changed.
Join us again after the break.
One L to the A to the G to the OS. That's One Lagos.
Be a part of this epic New Year celebration where 20 million voices say season's greetings across Lagos. Residents of Badagry, Ikorodu, Ekpe, Agege, Victoria Island and environs are getting ready to host the One Lagos Fiesta with over 300 hours of entertainment, fun and musical performances. Join all your favorite artists, Two-Face, Don Jazzy and the Mavis, Wizkid, Davido, Banky W, Olamide, Nice, Sound Sultan, Olumentane and others at Agege Stadium, Badagry Grammar School, Open Fields, Ikorodu Town Hall, Ekpe Recreation Center and Barbage on the 27th of December to the 31st December 2015. Visit www.olf.com.ng for more information. One Lagos Fiesta, one for all for fun.
One Lagos.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
This is an interesting question you put.
60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Lagos, Ilu Eko, is the largest city in Nigeria, divided into 3 senatorial districts: Lagos Central, East and West. Altogether, they form 5 zones: Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, Lagos Island and Ekpe, bound by a vibrant party line and the local government to make up a formidable mega city. The swell represents the elegant hat of the Eyo masquerade. The red, yellow and blue symbolizes the unique colors of Lagos in festivity. Lagos, Ilu Eko, festivity like no other.
Well, welcome back. If you've just joined us, it's 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ajetomobi. On my hot seat today, Folarin is the Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture in Lagos State. Now, we were talking about citizen education. You talked about trying to enhance what we already have on the ground. You talked about developing apps to help. What is the core of your vision, you know, in this ministry? You're combining 3, tourism, arts and culture, and I know they're all related. There's no way people come as tourists because they want to experience your culture as well. They're all intertwined. So what will be the core basis, the foundation, you know, of what you're trying to do in that ministry?
The ministry is called Tourism, Arts and Culture. I think about it as culture that throws up an art that people now come to see, which is the tourism. The culture of Lagos is so rich. You know, you've got the indigenous people, who are the Yorubas. Then you've got the Igbos and the Hausas who are also here. Add that to pretty much every tribe along the sub-Saharan African coast are here as well. Then sprinkle the Europeans who reside here, who work here, who were the former colonial masters. Then add the Indian community, the Lebanese community, and the Chinese community. It is so rich. Now, that culture now generates so much art in the food, in the music, in the theater, which is why you see Nigerian music it dominates Africa. If we look at Nollywood, it dominates Africa. It's because of the richness of the culture that resides here.
Yes.
Now, you don't have to do much. Agitate all those different
things,
localities,
yes.
bring them up, and they add to that platform, showcase them to the world. You know, the beauty of technology is that cultural dancers dancing at the Kayo Festival in Ekpe, properly documented, can be viewed in Siberia,
yes,
online, and that can generate the interest to come and see. There's so much. We are building a calendar of events for the year. Apart from the existing popular events, we're going to have one local government day for about 20 local governments. So that's 20 events. So you can
spread throughout the year.
Spread throughout the year. 20 local governments, only 12 months. So some will come together to have their local government day. Some will decide to stay. Then we've got the major traditional carnivals, festival, the Black Heritage Festival, the AO, which, you know, Lagos is...
Those don't change on the calendar.
Yes, some of them are governed by specifics in terms of tradition. That they don't come out every year. But we will try and showcase as much of those in easily digestible manner. It's tourism for people to come and visit you, to experience your art that comes from your culture.
Yes.
It must be easy to digest. It must be easy for you to get to Lagos.
Yes.
It must be easy for you to get a visa to get to Nigeria.
Yes.
It must be easy for you to get a cab that you feel safe in, get into a hotel.
Move around.
Yes. Get access to those things of the culture, of the art that interest you.
Yes.
So it must be easy to digest.
Those
little tweaks, yes. Then does government have to do anything apart from create an enabling environment for business, which is tourism, hospitality, entertainment, to thrive?
Yes.
If the environment
is there,
the platform that supports is there, people, private sector individuals will invest in the hotels, the clubs, the bars, the restaurants. That will help our tourism.
And of course, that brings me to the question of the private sector. Looking at events like Folarin, for instance, which is a kind of private initiative. You have some events like that are privately pushed. How does the state government get involved in things like that? And people may be watching now who have some kind of festival or some kind of thing that they think the state government can come on board and could feature majorly on the tourism calendar. How does one get the state government involved in projects like that?
First of all, there's a limit to what the state government can get involved in. But in something like Folarin, Fela is an icon. I mean, the only person I can compare him to, in my mind, is Bob Marley. Yes. The Bob Marley Museum in Jamaica is a mecca. And I think the celebration of Fela's culture, Fela's art, Fela's music is something that will live forever. And the support of such ceremonies and festivals is something that all we need to do is to put a platform, Afrobeat Festival. Bring all sorts of people from all over the world to enjoy Afrobeat, to have a festival of Afrobeat music. So you see different interpretations of Afrobeat post the great man. And that in its own self will create another unique brand of music. I mean, I saw the London Afrobeat group play at a hotel in Ikoyi a few months ago. And I was pleasantly surprised to see how well non-Nigerians played Afrobeat and sang to it.
Amazing.
Amazing. So those are things that our culture will drag out in redefining art. Here.
And you know, there's no money. There's a recession. All these lofty dreams you have, you know, for tourism, how do you intend to fund it?
Creative thinking doesn't at times require too much money. The resources are meager, but what we have to do is use our ideas to better utilize what we have. The trench in Ekpe, Shugweredo, now it extends all the way to Edo State. I went in trench, dug by the slaves of the Queen of Sheba. I went in there. There's a spring, amazing. Cold water, pure, and all it takes for us to make that something that people will go to see.
Yes.
Is to give it, make it accessible from the road. Put an elevated walkway like we have the National Conservation area in Lekki,
Yes.
and let people be able to see the
Walk
stretch.
there,
Yes,
walk around.
I think about 7 meters deep in some places. You know, go be able to look at the spring, touch the water. It's remarkably cool.
So going back now to the One Lagos Fiesta, it starts on December 27?
27.
27. It's a 4-day event.
5 days.
5-day event. So 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And then you have the normal countdown into January 1.
End of, yes. That's it.
So how does that work? 5 days in 5 locations spread around Lagos State. You are going to be spread thinly on that day. You know, how does it work? Is it going to be networked, or everybody is like a sovereign nation on their own? They got their own activities sorted out for each day.
Yeah. Every location, we have a template, a framework, which means we have food vendors, drinks, vendors that are format from Alausa, from the ministry. Then we took on local content, which is local vendors to also join
From the local areas
from each one of the local areas there. Then the activities for children, games, etc. in the daytime, dance troops, theater groups.
Where will these things hold? I mean, is it in local government offices or field or?
In Badagry, it's the Badagry Stadium, which is next to the grammar school. It's an open field.
Okay.
In Ekpe is the recreation center, which is like a mini stadium as well. In Ikorodu, it's the town hall, which it's outside in the ground. In Agege, which is the Ikeja, it's in the Agege Stadium. Okay. And then in Barbage, it's the Eco Atlantic Beach office end. Yes.
Okay.
So between Eco Atlantic offices and Adeola Odeku, the shorter stretch.
There. Okay. So the vendors will be there, tents set up.
Tents set up, stage, we will program from each locality,
yes,
the young and upcoming artists,
right, local to those areas.
To those areas to come and showcase their talent at competition. We have MCs anchoring each location for the 5 days.
Yes.
We have DJs playing music. Each location for the 5 days.
And they're child friendly. You know, people can come with their children. It won't be rough.
No, but we have children's areas.
Children's sections.
Yes,
okay.
Within. That's why you have the bouncy castle,
okay,
the food stalls, blah, blah, blah. You must remember, children are also on holiday,
yes,
during the particular time. So
yes,
we have all that set up. Then, of course, later in the evening, we...
disco.
Yeah, of course, disco time. Show the world that Lagos is actually the party capital of Africa. We've got the A-class artists who are going to sing, for example.
Who are those billed to perform?
For example, Two-Face has said he will play Badagry.
Really? So, not Barbage?
No, it was in Badagry. Mavin have said they will play maybe Badagry and Ekpe. Iyanya has said he will play Ikorodu and Agege. You know, can you imagine this?
I can't believe what I thought. Everybody would want to play Barbage or
You see, let me put it this way. Badagry, a crossover, starts from the Republic of Benin to Festac. So can you see
the crowd?
Also, we've got the local governments who are owning this celebrations as their own,
yes,
and supporting massively. Then you've got the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who are returning to their localities,
yes,
to own
the event. Well.
You've got the members of the House of Rep who are from these constituencies who are returning to their constituencies,
yes,
to own this fiesta. Yes. Then you've got Executive Council going back, yeah, to own. So the Speaker owns Agege. The Governor owns Ekpe.
Yes.
The Deputy Governor owns Badagry. The Special Advisor on Arts and Culture owns Ikorodu. I'm just running around. There is a structure to it.
What about security? That's a sore point. People are always worried that where so many people are gathered, you know, there's always a chance for pickpocketing, area boys, and things like that.
You know, Angela, should we not get up from bed for the fear of anything can happen?
Yes.
We've got to stand and say, we are people, we don't agree to certain things, we must live, we can't congregate, we can't go to church, we can't go to mosque, we can't go to fiestas. We've got to take a stand. We've done all we truly can, very intense and advanced planning. Every security agency has been involved in the planning. They have seconded officers to my office, so they have been in my office.
Part of the planning and listening.
And sending reports back. I have met the heads of all the agencies, DSS, police, counter-terrorist unit, you name it. Everybody is on point. Should we not welcome the new year? Should we not go to church? Should we not go to the mosque? Should we not go to the market? Because we are afraid that some people may have evil intentions. We are not going to allow that. We are going to go forth and enjoy.
What time will each event start in the day? Is it 10 or 12?
Yes, 10, 12. Because the first 4 days, the first day we will be warming up and rejigging things. By the second day, we will start to gain some traction. By the third day, we will have momentum, good momentum. By the fourth day, we will be
cruising.
Good speed. I know you like your speed. Good speed. And come crossover, I think we can get a million people grooving in Lagos. I would like to see the images after that to say, yes, we did it.
Join us again after the break.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
This is an interesting question you put.
60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask. You get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask. Welcome back. My concluding moments now with the Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture in Lagos State, Folarin. You know, when you were appointed as Commissioner for Tourism, someone said to me, that's the Faji master. They just you know, that's the perfect person, you know, for that post. What was your reaction? I mean, did you get a lot of people saying that to you as well?
Yes, and it puts me under a tremendous amount of pressure because if you look at my
your history,
I have been involved in hospitality and entertainment, and so to end up actually supervising or encouraging the development of this now, I think I'm very fortunate to have been charged with the responsibility. Lagos is a unique opportunity to recreate what we have known over time to be very possible. Ibiza in Spain.
Yes.
It's not a place where people go to sleep.
No.
It's a place where people go to party.
Yes.
So there's party tourism. And I think from this year we will stamp Lagos on the map of Africa. Come Christmas Eve to New Year's Day, Lagos is the party capital.
The Owambe capital.
you name it, it will be happening here. And that on its own is how we again intend to define Lagos.
Yes. Bring your own spin.
Bring it here. We will celebrate it for you. We're celebrating so much already. So many cultures, so many traditions that it probably exists. It's for us to identify it for you and showcase it in an easily digestible way.
Well, you know, this will be your first showcasing of what you can achieve, you know, as tourism commissioner. What are the challenges that you anticipate going forward with this event? There will be.
With this
yes.
One Lagos Fiesta?
You know, by the second day, you will start to see things.
Yes.
Hopefully, you've tried to cross all your T's and dot all your I's. But what are the challenges that you foresee?
First of all, I am grateful to the staff who created Countdown in another agency then called LASA, who are currently in the Ministry of Tourism working on this. So it's the same.
So it's a seamless team.
It's a seamless team. It's the same people who did Countdown who have done One Lagos Fiesta. One Lagos Fiesta is just another brand that we have created.
Do you have a hashtag for it so we can
yes.
get it going?
Hashtag
One Lagos Fiesta, right.
Website olf.com.ng.
Right. Do we need to do any kind of registration?
Yes,
or?
you can register online so you can get updated information about what's going on.
Right, and who's playing and so on, different days.
The media blitz that this requires.
Yes.
Starting here.
Yes.
We have a soft launch, then we have a party with the stars. Then you
start to get the vibe.
Start to get the vibe, the traction. It's 5 times bigger than Countdown.
Yes.
It's 25 concerts. It's 300 plus hours of music, entertainment, drama. It's huge. My worry is that the numbers I calculated, because we did some complex mathematics of how many square meters does a human being require to feel
comfortable, yes.
And we looked at the numbers, they're huge, but we thought, okay, that's fine. But, you know, if you have a concert in Badagry, Two-Face, at midnight on the 31st,
into the new year.
From Festac to the Republic of Benin. I'm sure.
That's big. That's big.
We are big. We think big.
That's big.
We want to do it that way.
I was looking at the logo. How did you come up with that concept? Because as soon as I saw the logo, I thought this means something. You don't just draw something with colors. You know, how did you come up with that?
Simple. Lagos, mega city. Bottom line. Divided into 3 senatorial districts.
Right.
West, Central, East. 3
fingers
coming up. 5 divisions. Badagry, Ikorodu, Ikeja, Ekpe, and Lagos Island. Local government, 2nd horizontal bar.
Right.
The state, 3rd horizontal bar. The swell, the cap of the AO. The 3 colors coming out.
Yes.
Lagos, the colors of Lagos in Fiesta. Just as if you
well, you know, it was interesting. You know, I liked the concept, the colors, and the website again is olf.com.ng.
Yes.
People can register there.
People can register there. We are updating the information daily so they know who is playing where.
People who are interested in becoming vendors at the event,
please just
through that website.
Yes, through the website.
Is there a phone number as well, or you prefer everyone to go?
I prefer everyone to come in through the website. So we have a flat line.
Right.
I can see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
The supervisors of each location can see what's going on. The job-specific members of the team, so the person in charge of vendors can see what's going on. He knows I can see what's going on. The supervisor knows. So that the information that we are all dealing with is on a platform. And if something isn't right, I can step in, the supervisor can step in, and we can take it on.
Okay, so just let's look at basic information now. I want to be a vendor at this event. I've chosen my location. Will there be charges associated with this?
Yes, there are some charges because what you are going to get is electricity, water, security, and a piece of land that you are going to sell your wares on. And then, yes, there is a small charge for that. We've got some of the big fast food chains coming.
Okay.
And then, of course, you've got the little people little businesses in various local governments who will also come there.
Yes.
Some of those areas we're leaving to the local governments to handle.
Right. Like
while-
building of stalls, will that be
they're
yours?
they're just tents. This is
Okay.
the marquees that
Okay.
pop up. Yes, so
Okay.
that's our responsibility.
All right.
Yes, but if you, for example, you're going to run a little beer parlor with pepper soup in Agigi,
Yes.
it's your responsibility to bring your chairs, to bring your
Tables,
to
yes.
bring your small, safe
Stove
warming
or
stove,
whatever,
and
yes.
your plates, spoons. We'll give you the area. You'll pay us a token amount, and you can have fun for 5 days. You see, the woman that bought 5 cartons of beer in Ikorodu, and that is her stock for the whole of from Christmas Eve to New Year.
Yes.
Her plan is to sell 5 cartons of beer.
Yes.
She will sell the 5 cartons on the first day.
Yes.
She will
If
sell
not
10
more.
this next day, maybe 15, and then maybe end up selling 25 and cumulatively 50.
Yes.
We've changed the dynamics of that woman's business. The GDP of that locality has blipped, and cumulatively the GDP of Lagos will blip just from creating this platform for Fiesta in the festival.
And involving people in the localities as well. You're empowering them economically.
Inclusion. Nobody is left out. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, we include you in what we are planning, and we bring it to you for you to partake.
You benefit from something
I
there.
was talking to a few of the artists
Yes.
while discussing their performances, and I said, do you know that there's no way a young up-and-coming star will not become a major star from this 5 days in this 5 locations? Because the platform we are showcasing them on,
Yes.
it's the same platform that
The promoter,
an A-class superstar will sing on.
Yes.
The same quality of the microphone, the lights.
Because it's the same stage Two Faces is playing on, that the local boy there too is
I'm trying very hard not to mention any names so I don't get into trouble for promoting one. Yes, I mentioned Two Face.
Yes.
Yes, so, you know, and you've been in the industry, you know the quality of production.
Yes.
You know, good speakers, well balanced, good bass, well compressed. He says hello.
And
the
thing
sound.
sounds well.
And it sounds well. Somebody picks him up. You know, one of the sponsors decides, oh, that's my next ambassador.
Yes.
A career started.
So there's a ripple effect to this.
There's a trickle down. There's so much, but it's going all the way down to the localities. And a lot of people have come on board this.
I was going to ask you, are any corporate bodies interested? Have they expressed?
Yes, we have corporate sponsors, but I'm holding back until we get the final launch before at the launch I now come out with our corporate sponsors.
Right. Will there be any prizes to be won? Will there be competitions?
Yes, there will be
You know,
competitions.
a competition, perhaps testing your knowledge about Lagos State.
Well, we didn't think about that because everybody's on festival mode now. How about a dance competition, singing competition, things like that. In terms of raffles and prizes, yes, we are closing up with one of our sponsors to see if we can do a raffle that changes a life in all 5 locations. So
at least one life in
somebody in each location could win a car. So that is the change a life thing that we are putting into this. That crossover, we will pick a number and say, Mister, yeah, you want a car?
Kia, whatever the car is.
Well, you said Kia.
Okay, so I mean, it looks like you've got it all ironed out. I was very worried that it looked like you were jettisoning the Lagos countdown. That isn't happening.
No,
it's incorporated in it, even at the end of it.
Yes.
You know, but this is the One Lagos Fiesta, the first episode. Going forward, you know, hopefully it will be maintained now.
Oh yes, it will be in Surulere. It will be in Apapa. Apapa Amusement Park is ready. When they're going to launch it, what am I going to use to launch it for them is this platform, One Lagos Fiesta. The Surulere Carnival, that comes up in Easter. What am I going to use? One Lagos Fiesta. Independence Day, One Lagos Fiesta. Whatever.
And people who are watching, young people who want to be a part of this, you know, at these events you always need ushers.
That's a lot of work.
So
That's a lot of work.
to the website as well.
Everybody does. Most of those things, because we wanted a particular standard across the locality. So we set the framework from Alausa, and then handed over those responsibilities to groups of individuals
Yes.
who are officers of the state working in the Ministry of Tourism, and they have gone there to replicate. So what I do in Bar Beach
Yes.
is replicated in Ekpe, is replicated in Ikorodu.
There will be no lowering of standards.
It's one Lagos. It's the same thing across the bar. You may find that people in Agege may prefer Wasiu to play, Kwamon to play non-stop for
4 hours, yes.
rather than artists coming in and changing.
Yeah,
So those are the variations that I would in consideration.
Yes.
The people in Victoria Island may like some creme brulee.
Yes.
While the people in Mushi, at 4 a.m. they just want to jam the ofada rice and stew with tinko.
Yes.
So those variations we have taken into consideration that
Yeah.
these are different localities.
Yeah,
We
different
must.
vibes, different
Yes,
cultures.
yes.
Starting off on December 27, you say,
Yes.
in 5 locations across Lagos State. One Lagos Fiesta. The website again is olf.com.ng. Of course, the hashtag One Lagos Fiesta. Get into that program now, as we go forward.
I'm curious. Which one are you going to?
I don't know. Which one will you invite
Well,
me to?
you're in the I'm going to all.
You have to go to attend
Yes, I am going to start. I'm not sure where I'm going to start from, but I'm going to all.
within the 5 days.
Within
You'll
the
be
5
touching.
days, yes, I'm going to each.
Which one will His Excellency the Governor be attending?
I am, he's from Ekwe. I'm encouraging him to go and own Ekwe, but he's the governor of Lagos. So
He has to come and rock everywhere.
We'll try and make sure that he gets to each one of them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koka, for coming on 60 Minutes with me. It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for having me.
And that's it for this week. I'm Angela Ajitomobi. Thank you for watching.
One L to the A to the G to the OS. That's One Lagos.
Be a part of this epic New Year celebration where 20 million voices say season's greetings across Lagos. Residents of Badagry, Ikorodu, Ekpe, Agege, Victoria Island and environs are getting ready to host the One Lagos Fiesta with over 300 hours of entertainment, fun and musical performances. Join all your favorite artists: Two-Face, Don Jazzy and the Mavens, Wizkid, Davido, Banky W, Olamide, Nice, Sound Sultan, Olumentane and others at Agege Stadium, Badagry Grammar School, Open Fields, Ikorodu Town Hall, Ekpe Recreation Center and Bar Beach on the 27th of December to the 31st December 2015. Visit www.olf.com.ng for more information. One Lagos Fiesta, one for all for fun.
One Lagos.